That is the White House behind me. That is the current president. But in this video, I want to talk about that guy over there. I think you can see that. Probably did a terrible job. That is the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. Thomas Jefferson, obviously the third president. You fast forward, okay, to the 47th president. We're over here. But in this video, what I'm going to talk about is Thomas Jefferson's belief on the government and a central bank. The banks in America not becoming too powerful by way of how they control money and the financial systems in America. And this is a fact that's so interesting because it's greatly debated even until this day if we should have a central bank in America. Now, Federal Chair Jerome Powell is currently in charge of the Federal Reserve. It's not President Trump. And those are two entirely different bodies, and they're actually supposed to be completely independent of one another. But, you know, that's a story for another time. But I'm just kind of curious what your opinion is. Do you think that we still need a central bank in this country? When you think about the Federal Reserve and a central bank in America, they really have two mandates. It's to make sure that jobs are stable, that you can get a job here in America if you want one, and two, price stability as well, and making sure that the cost of goods doesn't fluctuate like it does in other countries, speaking frankly. So they do have a very important mandate, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily doing a good job of it, or that doesn't mean that there's not a better way to do it. So seriously curious if you think this is something we still need, or if you're more in line with our good friend Tom Jefferson, the third president, who actually vehemently disagreed that we needed a central bank. In fact, he hired a personal spy, it is said, to follow around Alexander Hamilton, who is, kind of speaking objectively here, one of the most important people in making the U.S. financially what it is today. But Alexander Hamilton was so much for a central bank, and Thomas Jefferson obviously on the complete other side of that. And he said, hey, follow this guy, dig up some mud on him. He's doing something wrong, and that way we can shut down the central bank. And the guy followed him around and said, hey, he's actually kind of right about everything. So anyways, curious to know your thoughts.